Hello everyone, welcome to the Malaysian Grand Prix. So it's round 2 then for my career mode. We saw a pretty strong race last time out when we managed to score a podium. So fingers crossed for a solid result here, but my pace doesn't seem to be quite so good. I was a little bit more off in quality. I'm about a second slower than I was last race compared to the leaders. So quite a bit slower. That's probably down to the very long back straights. I do lose, I lose a second in those back straights, the back straight and the main straight. So that'll probably explain, a little bit of glitching with the camera there. So that'll probably explain most of my pace loss, but I've also lost pace relative to Fernando Alonso as well, so I think I'm just not quite so quick at this track, but I'm sure I'll ebb and flow over the season. But a few shots of the track then, and I believe we'll see in a minute. I think I'm in something like P8. Look at the bottom of the grid first. There's my teammate Fernando Alonso, 2.7 off the front, P14 he's starting. Felipe Nasr back in 10th. And there is me, Jensen Button up into P8, so 1.9 off, so yeah, about a second slower as I said. Nice standard Mercedes and Ferraris out front. Looking pretty close between those two, but so like I said, hoping for a solid result. I did start 4th last time, managed to finish 3rd, so I'll start 8th. I want to finish higher than 7th if I can. Have a look at the strategy here. It's exactly the same as last race really, except for the primes last quite a bit longer, twice as long as they did last race. But again, I'll probably go option, prime option. And now going to go straight to the race. And here we are on the grid, a little rev of the engine. Check the temperatures, of course that's something we need to keep a close eye on. We've got 5 lights already then. And they're out and we're away straight away. The tyres get hot in the rear, trying to minimise wheel speed, but not doing a great job of it at all. Quite a lot there. That's to adjust the wheel quite a bit. And there's a Sauber going to come inside. And he's been in contact with us, and that's just going to, whoa, it's pitched us straight into the pit wall there. And, well, that's race over. And I will obviously restart. But, yeah, let's just watch that again. So here's the Sauber on the inside. He just comes over on me. Got plenty of room on his other side. He just comes and just pitches both of us, all 3 of us, into the barrier. And he lost his race too. But anyway, we will restart that. I wouldn't normally restart, but this is on the start line. And completely not my fault. We will restart it. So actually, it's probably a slightly worse start than before compared to the guys ahead. And I think I'll be able to do a better start next time out. I've been doing a few practice starts, so hopefully it'll be a bit better. But anyway, we're on the outside on Verstappen. Very loud to take a voice. Actually, Grosjean there actually managed to get the move done on him over the grass. More because he braked a little bit earlier than I expected. A little bit of stab of the throttle there to get alongside Ricciardo. Almost touched Bottas, but managed to avoid it. Straight in the car nicely there to get a good exit, which we managed to do. And, well, the car's headed just pulling away because of our lack of engine power. Ricciardo's right behind us, but he's not going to have a little look. And braking very late. Go to the inside of Bottas then. And we're all over the gearbox of Vettel, so not to give Bottas a chance to go on the outside. So we managed to sneak another position up to P6. That's not bad because we were down in, I think it was P9 after the start. Maybe even P10. We lost a couple of places. So back up to P6. I'll certainly take that. Engine's getting quite hot now, so I need to do a bit of short shifting. We've already put the revs down. And just try and get that call. I wasn't losing power. I'm actually managed to stick with the Ferraris for now. Oh, lots of understeer through there, though. And there was a few complaints about my use of track limits on the last race, and Australia is notorious for it. So I'm braking very late there and used a bit of understeer to get the car to turn in. And I can tell you, I did concentrate more on this race. People didn't like it. I don't fully agree with that. I think it's career mode. It's offline. Nobody really cares. Within reason, you know, outrageous cuts, yeah, but you know, little ones, whatever. I wasn't that happy about it last race either, though. So I will try and be a bit more clean in this race. There will still be a few cuts and extends, as generally is expected. But no, I will be cleaner. But look at this Bottas with his... Oh, he actually settled with a dummy there. He's going to go up the inside. And I've never seen the AI do that before. And straight into a slipstream. Going to try and outbrake him on the inside, which he managed to do well alongside him and hit the apex nicely. A bit of inside lock-in, but we'll get away with that. And he's just backed out of it on the outside. We need to go to Rich, though, because he's going to be all over us with his superior straight line speed and engine. So he's coming around outside here, and he's going to be well past us. We need to outbrake him once again on the inside here. And quite calmly braking there. Didn't brake too late. Managed to nail the apex all over the curb and managed to keep the position for now. But that's an outrageous straight line speed difference. So if he's even a little bit closer to us the next lap, he will be able to take us quite easily. And yeah, I've never seen the AI sell a dummy like that before. He went to my outside and changed his mind and went straight to the inside. Whether that was just happened to be because I moved my car slightly, perhaps, and you know, the AI decided to make a different decision. Or maybe it's actually programmed in to do a dummy. If it's programmed in to do a dummy move, that's seriously clever stuff, and I like that a lot. I hope to see that bit more of that, because that genuinely duped me. Because of course I wasn't expecting a dummy. You know, in league racing, online racing, you expect people to pull a dummy because that's, you know, that's part of racing. But you know, with this, you just don't expect them to do that. So as soon as I saw him go to my right hand side, I started pulling over to the right again, and then he dived on my inside, and yeah, well, he was past me. You know, wasn't he? By the time we got to the next corner, but even so. That was coming up to a braking zone, he might have been able to get me with that little move. So luckily he's passed me before it, and I had a chance to go back up his inside, didn't have any brakes. But anyway, then we managed to cool the engine down nicely now, And now the cars ahead are just gone, aren't they? So, as expected, no chance to catch them. As I said, I'm about a second lap slower than them. And my tyre doesn't seem to be much better. This track, you know, in Australia it's quite a lot better. This track, it seems to be pretty similar actually. So maybe that won't be a pattern of the season, but we'll have to wait and see. And I'm going to actually give Bottas the inside line here because I've decided, like in Australia, I want to see if he can help me close the gap. And I'm going to try and stick with him now and get lots and lots of slipstream. Trying to get the power down there. Going to go to Rich as well. Look at that, he's pulling away. So this is Rich fuel and slipstream. And he's still just absolutely pulling away. Already half a second away as we cross the start-finish line. And he's still pulling away at the end of the straight. So that doesn't bode well for me being able to stick with him, does it? But we'll see. Hopefully we're better in the corners. But Williams is very fast. And both of them did out-qualify me. So theoretically they are faster than me. Particularly Bottas, who's generally the faster Williams. Although I suspect Yes, I suspect Massa. Yeah, we see up there that Massa just had the Ferrari. So I've gone a little bit deep there. I had to go into second to try and get the car to rotate. Trying to understeer on me, so shifting down to second generally makes it rotate nicely, gets it turning a little bit better. Reduces the understeer, nicely nailing the curve there. I was just right, a couple of stabs at the throttle there. Obviously not wanting to run wide here, you can gain time by running wide there, so again being a little bit more cautious of that. And just want to mention while the racing's a little bit dull at the moment, I just apologise if this video has been a little bit longer than I thought. Was supposed to do it Saturday night. And the death of Bianchi did actually hit me quite hard, but it is always surprising how much it affects you. And I tweeted at the time that when you love a sport, you also love everyone in that sport. And it's to have a death, it feels like, you know, losing a friend. So it wasn't a great day for me on Saturday. You know, I was at work, so I had to crack on my life, obviously. But yeah, it's not good news when you wake up to that, is it? I'm sure you've all heard the news, and I'll pay a bit of a tribute to him on lap 17. I'll get into more of that a little bit once we get there. But anyway, Ricardo's going outside then. A little bit of glitch on the left. I tend to get that quite a lot on PC. A lot of glitch gets left rear, but he's actually run deep there. He's run deep, and I've just gone straight back up inside. I didn't manage to outbrake him, but because he ran so deep, and he's given me DRS. But look at this. Renault engine, one of the least powerful barring the Honda. And he's just totally with me. Look, I've got DRS, and I was on Rich, and he's just sticking with me in the straight line. If he had a bit of slipstream there, if he went in behind me, we would have been able to overtake me. But there we go. That's not great. That's not good signs to my engine power, is it? But never mind. And managed to stay ahead of him at least, because he ran a little bit deep. It's good to see once again the AI making a little mistake there. So he obviously overtook me then. Braked very late indeed. And coming now on to lap 4. And it's essentially the end of that last lap we just saw. So just skip up the middle bit, as we now know all the time what's going to happen there. And I'm just going to stay ahead quite comfortably. But then I wasn't able to pull away. And look at on the mini-map. We've got a bit of a button train going on, or a Gillen train. So not good news. My pace isn't the best at this track, that's for sure. But hopefully I can take Ricardo back as he managed to get me inside there. But a good exit, but lots of dirty air on the exit there as he pulls in front of me. Going to go to Rich, and I'm going to get DRS. And I'm going to get slipstream, so even though I've got a slower engine, I should hopefully be closer. But Grosjean's behind me with all the same, and a Mercedes engine. So he's going to go up the inside as well. Well, it's going to be 3 abreast, but Grosjean's back out of it. I brake very late. Bit of lag there, lots of lag. That's going to push me massively deep. Don't go off the track completely, but lose lots of time. Ricardo's got me. Does Grosjean get me as well? No, he doesn't. He gives me plenty of room on the inside, so, well, that was disappointing. I did brake quite late, but that lag just caused me to go massive. I wouldn't run that deep for sure. So at least I didn't take Ricardo out or take myself out. More to the matter. And Grosjean's going to look around me outside. He's going to break me there. But not by enough, and that's again give me too much room really on the outside there. It's actually cost them position to Verstappen, and Verstappen through, which is good news for me, because the Renault engine is obviously slower than the Mercedes engine, so it's certainly good. And yeah, strange bit of isolated lag there. Didn't get it again, so I ran a little wide there. I didn't get it again this whole race, and I've not really had it before, so it's just some sort of isolated lag issue. Because I do record with fraps now. I find when they increase the hard drive speeds, fraps tends to run a bit better than MSI Afterburner, which I used to use. So that's now what I use to record, and that's what I get the best FPS with everything I've tested. It's obviously software based, so you can get a little bit of FPS drops every now and again, but never mind. A little bit wide there, got my rear wheels over that curb, or even on the curb really. You don't want to try and touch the curb in that corner, which is new. You used to be able to nail that curb in previous games. Absolutely nailing my apex. That's a pretty flat curb there, but once again, you want to try and avoid that curb if you can on the outside, but if you do get over it, you've just got to commit and go all the way over it. If you try and touch it a bit, it can send you around. But Ricardo just managed to absolutely pull away from us, so we haven't even got the pace of a Red Bull this race, which isn't great news for us. In fact, we haven't even got the pace of the Toro Rossos, because they're also sticking right with us behind us, so probably too far back. I'd imagine I'm going to go to Rich just in case, because I can. I don't find an issue with fuel. I'll go to the inside, and he's going to be well along the outside there, isn't he? Look at that. And in fact, he's passed me, so I'm going to have to once again outbrake him. Can I do it? Yes, I've done it again quite calmly. Nailing the curb there. He tries to cut back on me, but I'm too tight for that. So, and there we are then. Managed to stay up to P8, but only P8. And I'm not got the pace to move up any further. So look at that massive train behind me. And actually, my teammates at the back of that train. So this is an interesting one as we now move ahead to lap 8. And I come into the pits. And not a lot happened in the middle laps there, but we missed out. Just basically the same thing. A couple of times we went on the outside, a couple of times I had to outbrake him. But generally had enough pace. But it looks like everyone's followed me in. This is actually 1 lap early. I was supposed to pit on lap 9 or 10. I decided to come in 1 lap early because I could feel the tyres fading away from me. So Williams just pit there. Bottas, it looks like it was. And, well, lots of people behind me. Let's hope I don't get held up in the pits. But look at that massive queue. I'm going to get held up. Usually 2.5 second stop. It's going to be a lot longer than that. A lot longer than that. 6.5 seconds. I've just lost 4 seconds having to wait for other traffic. Hopefully I don't lose any positions though, do I? There's a 4-cylinder right behind me. Then there's Verstappen. No, I've not lost any positions, fortunately. But, that's cut. Well, 4 seconds it's cost me, so that's not ideal. But, never mind. I didn't expect them to pit, actually. That was part of my motivation for pitting early, is that I wouldn't get held up in the pits. And now, this is painful. Cold tyres and prime tyres is incredibly painful when you come out the pits. Look at that. Just can't get the power down. Still can't get the power down there. Now we can. And managed to get a little bit of a gap to Hulkenberg. He's obviously even more cautious on these cold tyres. Shouldn't it all slowed down. Having to go into second once again then, just because there's so much understeer. The rears aren't too bad. Quite like wheel spin at that first couple of corners. So look at that. Massive lift through there. Absolutely huge lift. And this is almost like we're on a wet track now. This is just insane. It takes them... Well, it only takes about half a lap to get warmed up, which is about right. But they've really got that right, I must say. I don't know if that's how it is in real life, but it certainly feels right. Because it's just... I mean, as soon as you come out the pits, they're just so slow. But then as soon as you get warmed up like now, they're straight away faster. So I think that is about right. Particularly on these prime tyres. These are the hardest available tyres that Pirelli use. So that does make sense really to me. Obviously I've not driven a Formula 1 car in real life, so I don't know exactly how it is, but it does feel about right. And I assume super soft and the softs will get warmed up a lot quicker. And it's starting to back out there. Just really mainly adapting to this grip now. With tyres with full up temperatures, they're a bit hot actually there as I'm going through the corners. Just getting used to the new grip level of these prime tyres, and fingers crossed my pace will be a little bit better relative to the cars around me. It looks like my teammates in the pits there. The yellow dot on the minimap is my team. Oh no, the light yellow dot. The full yellow dot is obviously me. And you'll see in a minute as we go past the pits. My teammate is a paler yellow, a little bit wider on the grass, but it's not costing me anything. I don't think Hulkenberg's going to get DRS on me, fortunately. No, he's not. Or not. No, I don't think he will. And there's a couple of cars got the pit exit there. Luckily I managed to get them, but that was closer than I wanted it to be. It wasn't much of an undercut there. That's because it took so long for these tyres to come up to temperature. I saw how much understeer I had. And just having to use quite a lot of steering lock to get through those corners, but I managed to get through. So back up to P8 then, as we now skip ahead to lap 16. Now, starting to rain, but I don't want to talk about that for now. I want to talk about Jules Bianchi. He, of course, is car number 17. He was car number 17. And like I said, it hit me quite hard. And I remember it hit me when we had that death of the Marshal a couple of years ago at Canada. That actually hit me. But a driver death is so much more. So what I'm going to do, and I got this idea from Arav on Twitter, is I'm going to do a lap of silence for in respect to Jules Bianchi, because it's a really terrible thing that's happened, and like I said, it did hit me hard. So the whole of lap 17, which is his driver number, as I said, is going to be a lap of silence out of respect for Jules Bianchi, and I hope you join me in this lap of silence for Jules Bianchi. And there we go then. I just wanted to do something really to show my respect. And I didn't feel a tribute video would be it. Yeah, I just thought I was doing a career mode, which I did actually record this video before it all happened. I thought I'd be quite apt using his driver number to pay my respects there. And like I said, very sad death from Bianchi. But anyway then, trying to a bit of a random place in the middle of a video, but as I said, that was more fitting for me. And anyway, up to P7 now then. As I said, the rain's starting to come down, and we're still on these prime tyres. You can see the temperature on the right side. I did actually do some practice in the rain. I thought Malaysia might rain, and the practice went from dry to wet, so I stayed out. Like a race, I stayed out till it got wet, then I went to winters, and I stayed out till it got full wet. So I have had some experience on this track in these conditions, and now it's definitely ready because the tyres are cold. You see the right side there, if they get cold, particularly in the corners like now, they can't even warm up in the corners, and then particularly if they're getting cold down the straights, you know it's time to pit. And at the end of that last lap it wasn't quite ready. I needed another probably quarter of a lap, half a lap maybe, but I didn't really want to risk it, so I decided to stay out. Perhaps the wrong decision. A few guys did pit behind me, but with the benefit of hindsight I can tell you that they did actually put the I believe they put another set of the prime tyres on, because again it wasn't quite ready at that point. The IA obviously agreed with me, so they've obviously made a mistake there, but it's good for me because now I'm going to come in for a set of the inters. Oh, I've accidentally selected primes there. I need to quickly reselect that. Trying to do that while coming to a corner. I'm trying to know your braking zone isn't easy, but I've managed it. So touch the grass there. It's quite slippy, not too bad at the moment, but it is a little bit slippy for sure. Here we go then. So, going to be fitting intermediate tyres, it's definitely ready. We've got 10 laps now, and I can tell you, as I said, it's some practice in the wet. I can tell you my pace is certainly better on the wet tyres. I was, like I say, about 2 seconds off the pace on the dry tyres, and I was more like a second lap off the pace on the wet tyres. So I gained about a second a lap on the AI. So I should hopefully be able to move up a couple of positions if I'm close enough. You can see I'm not far behind Massa now. They're quite a lot faster than before. Hopefully I'll at least be equal to him on pace. Oh, bit of inside lock in there straight away. Just trying to feel, because these tyres are cold. As well as has been inters, and now it's wet conditions as well. So we've actually managed to gain a position on Bottas behind there. So he must have done what I mentioned the AI did and fit another set of slicks before he did his intermediates. So they've just done a double pit stop. So I've actually managed to gain a place then on Bottas, and that's a P7. And chasing down Massa for P6. Gone a little bit deep there again. And I assume the Red Bull was Ricciardo, I believe, wasn't it? Was it Kvyat? I think it was Ricciardo. I'm pretty sure it was Ricciardo. Has moved up then to P5. So obviously Red Bull should be slower than me. The Williams should be about a similar pace, really. The Red Bull should be a little bit slower, hopefully. So I might be able to catch him towards the end of the race. I don't really know where he is at the moment. I'm sure we'll find out. I'm now just pushing to try and catch Massa and ideally getting his slipstream ready for the long back straights. And front tyres still aren't warm though. Rear tyres are nice because that's easy to warm, isn't it? Just a little bit aggressive use of the right pedal, and they're nice and ready to go. 40% fuel remaining, but we're well over halfway through this race, so that's not an issue. As I said, I've never had an issue with fuel. Never had to go to lean yet in this game, barring quality out laps where you're trying to keep the engine nice and cool. Yeah, I don't really think about that. I might need to think about it in the future. I do keep an eye on it, obviously, but not needed to conserve anyway yet. But looks like I'm not losing to Massa, but I'm not gaining on Massa rather, but not losing to him either. So I'm staying a sort of similar distance really to him. Perhaps gaining a little bit on me, but not massively. But I'm also obviously feeling out these conditions. He's the AI. He'll probably be able to feel the conditions a lot easier than me because he's a computer after all. So hopefully I'll gain a bit of pace. There we go. I found a mid 45 was about right. And if it goes to a high 45, it's usually time to change the tyres. We come to the end of lap 21 then. Oh, a little bit deep there, but no, I'll get away with that. And looks like there's some traffic ahead. Massa's incurring. And looks like they're making contact there. Big contact. I'm going to steer right round them. And I've managed to get the move done on Massa. Well, not to get the move done, overtake Massa. Because there's contact there with, I think it was Verstappen in the Toro Rosso. And I think, that's the AI not being good at blue flags. I believe Verstappen tried to move over to let Massa pass, and Massa also tried to move over to overtake him. They just collided in the middle. And at the moment, Massa's ahead of Bottas, but I can tell you he's got a bit of damage to his front wing, so he's now effectively out of this contention for this position for the race. So that's moving up to P6, so I'll certainly take that. And you did see I was gaining on him. I managed to get a bit closer to him. Gone wide there. I think it could be time for a wet, so we're not far off it. And yeah, I wasn't managing to gain on Massa anyway, so I might have got him anyway, but Just being taken out there. I'll certainly take that. I think I'm owed it, aren't I, after the last race? And I've just gone wide once again there. Although, I'm just telling me it's an interesting tyre call, but telling me to stick with Inters for now. But they're still hot on the right hand side. That's about right. You want them to get a bit hot through the corners and cooling down to normal temperatures on the straights. They're barely even cooling down to normal temperatures. But the grip is not great. Let's have a look at pace. I don't understand the pace. I don't know if that's relative to my fastest lap or what. I think it's relative to fastest lap, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. And it feels a bit better here. It's close. It'll be next lap if it's not this lap. Because, you know, the tyre temperatures are right for now, but they also were before I pit last time. I think... Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? It's either going to be this lap or next lap. Am I feeling the risk? Am I feeling the risk? It's decision time. I'm going to select for wets just in case. What do I do? What do I do? I think I'm going to pit. Braking quite late. Yep, we're going to pit. I'm going to go for it then. It's a bit of a risk. I'm a little bit wide down the pit entry. Bit of a risk for sure. But I decided to just go for it. You know, last time I got the call perhaps one lap too late. Wasn't quite perfect. So I thought, you know what, this grip is deteriorating. The tyre temperatures, even though they're okay, I'm still just going to go for it. So I've decided to take a bit of a risk and hope that I can move up a few positions. And I don't know, well, Ricardo was about 15 seconds ahead. So a nice quick stop, 2.3 second stop. That's exactly what we needed. Hopefully they get held up a bit in the pits as well. That's my teammate now. He's about to overtake me. So he's having a pretty solid race. So Alonso's up to P8. He's having a pretty good race. I think those AI making that double pit stop mistake when they went slicks and then straight to Inters. That's helped him for sure. And I'm right behind Daniel. It's Daniel, but it's Daniel. I don't know what it is. Anyway, Gviat now in the Red Bull. Up to P9, so still a few points even if I only finish here. Ooh, lots of wheel spin there. I don't think it's quite ready yet. It's not quite ready yet, but hopefully half around the lap it will be. Look, you can see it's raining quite hard. There's quite a lot of rain coming down. It all slowed down to second on the power. Of course, these tyres are still cold as well, so I do need to heat them up. That's part of it. Down to fifth. Lots of understeer for now. The rears are up to temperature. Just need the fronts to come in. They'd be warm by now if it was slicks, but obviously you can't go so fast in the wet, so it does take a little bit longer for them to warm up. Down to fourth. Running a little bit wide there. Delaying the throttle so I don't run wide. Too wide though. And the fronts are still very cold. This isn't good signs. Mind you, the tyres would overheat if anything. So not really gaining on Kvyat, who I assume is on Inters. Not massively anyway. 3.1 seconds, so I've not lost though to him, so it's not been a bad call, which has not been the right call, but then that's because they're not up to temperature. I've used this lap to get them up to temperature. The AI wouldn't have to pit and then get them up to temperature, so this could still be a good game for them. Now they're just starting to get up to temperature now. There's a bit of traffic ahead here. Need to be wary of that. And they just basically stopped the race tonight. I've actually made contact and lost a bit of my wing there, as 3 cars on 3 different sets of tyres. For some reason, that back marker decided to go on slicks. Kvyat was on Inters and I was on full wets. So I've lost a bit of front wing there, but hopefully that won't cost me too much time, as Kvyat's actually challenging me down the inside here. I don't know if he's going to pit. I really hope he's. I've locked now. I'm going to go massively, massively deep. And hopefully he doesn't take me out. Oh, he has. He's taken me out there. He's come straight across and spun me round and taken off the rest of my front wing. So I'm going to have to pit now. Make a double pit stop. And that's massively, massively frustrating as the car just behind me. It's a lap Toros. I think that's the one that's Verstappen on the slicks. Well, that's massively disappointing. Let's look at a quick replay to see what happened. So I've just gone deep there. And I've had to come around the corner. And he's just gone straight into the pit lane. That was insane. Just spun me straight around. But anyway, back to the pit lane. See something that's selecting full wets again. Making sure I get those. And was that green? I just saw green front wing. And it is. It's intermediate tyres. It's intermediate tyres they've put on the car. This isn't good. Okay, so basically I took a risk. Decided to go on the full wets. It looked like it was paying off. Until I lost a bit on wing, which wasn't good. Then he decided to battle. I couldn't shift up there either. Then he decided to battle me into the, for some reason. Then he took me out coming to pit lane and took off the rest of my front wing. So not only did I spin, but also had to pit for a new wing. Then, because he was in the pit lane, it was too late to select. Oh, lots of oversteer. It was too late to select the full wets, so it didn't register my selection in time. And for some reason, it decided to automatically give me Inters. So now it's put me on Inters. And now I've got to do the lap. Oh, look how slow this is. On Inters. And then pit again for full. Oh, Jesus Christ. 3 laps in a row I'm going to have to pit as the Williams just behind me. Master. That's actually for positions. He's not had a great decision there. Oh, of course he had that incident, didn't he? Oh, he lost his wing. And he's going to be miles past me, isn't he? And there he goes. This will be interesting. And, well, not interesting really, because he's just gone. I've just gone straight on. These tyres have got no grip. No grip. There's Hulkenberg behind me. He's going to take me as well. And I've still got to make another pit stop yet. And we're only left 4 laps from the end. This isn't good. This has gone from bad to worse to horrifically bad. Oh, God. Oh, it's such a shame. I was on for such good points. I was on for probably 6th or 5th. And now I'll be amazed if I get any points at all. Oh, completely screwed over by the game, wasn't I? AI, sort of my fault, but they were basically stopped on the racing line. I mean, how am I supposed to avoid? I probably could have avoided one of the cars, but 2 cars in a train stopped on the racing line. How can I avoid that? And I got taken out in the pit lane, which wasn't my fault. Then I didn't get the right tyres, which wasn't my fault. Oh, I hope I get the right tyres this time. I might just rage quit if I don't. Oh, lots of wheel spin there. Just nailing the throttle into the pit entry. Why not? Not going to make any difference even if I don't finish. Well, fingers crossed they give me full wets this time. Come on, McLaren, please. Down to 14th. Perez, he might even overtake me as well. Put me down to 15th of 19. There's not that many cars left. I've got full wets this time at least. So I've got 3 laps to, well, try and recover some dignity. I'm not going to be able to get any points. Oh, down to 16th. As Perez just overtaken me. There's another car. Oh, no, he's a lap car. It's all right. So, yeah. That's good news. This race has not gone well. And Ericsson's right behind me. That's for a position, but I'm trying my time. I'm going to be slow at first with these cold tyres. Hopefully once I get them warmed up, I'll be all right. And that's what's more frustrating is that that was 1 lap I got on the wet, so I didn't really even know if that was the right choice. I'm pretty sure it was because they were just starting to come into temperature. And I'd have been loads faster than the AI for that next lap when I had tyres up to temperature and they didn't. Oh, we'll never even know now. But anyway, skip ahead now to the penultimate lap. As I managed to catch Perez, so I've pushed quite hard. You can see my big gap to Ericsson behind. Like I said, I'm about a second and a lap off the Mercedes pace, so I should be faster than these guys at least. I'm now 1.1 back on Perez. Slightly fresher tyres as well, and I'm pushing really hard because I just want to try and have a bit of fun at the end of this race, to be honest. It doesn't really matter where I finish. And backing off a little bit. Perez backs off a lot there, so we'll have a look at the inside. Yes, I'm going to dive at the inside here, outbrake him then, still leaving room and make the apex. And that was a bit of a surprise. I didn't intend that move, but I can tell you, I clinched everything. And actually, Hamilton's finished there, so this will be the last lap because I've been lapped. And I can tell you, I clenched everything. I didn't really intend that. I sort of thought, I aimed my car to have a look up the inside. And when I hit the brakes, I was like, oh God, I'll brake way later. I'm going to have to go up the inside here. I hope I don't run wide. I hope I don't run wide. And I managed to leave enough room just about. But, and it turns out, as we're lapped, I assume this will make us finish now. Yes, it will. And it's good job as we were lapped, because I wouldn't have had another chance to do that move, probably. But there we go. A dejected Jensen Button leaves his car. And what a horror show of a race. It was looking so promising, wasn't it? But it wasn't to be. Totally screwed over by the AA once again. And Fernando Alonso actually finished P6 then, so he scored solid points for McLaren. I was miles ahead of him. And I can tell you, I've done some rough maths. And, well, I would have been well ahead of Valtteri Bottas, that's for sure. So at least P5. And there's me down at P14. Christ, a lap down. I would have been at least P5. I might have even been able to get Ricciardo. If my strategy paid off, I might have been able to get Ricciardo for P4. But no more than that. But it still would have been solid points. But anyway, 15 points, of course, that doesn't move now. So it puts me down to 6th in the championship. So not great news for that. And here's the constructors then. 25 points, as at least Fernando managed to score some points. But there we go then. I'm quite glad that race is over. And I can tell you, I'm quite... I was a bit disappointed to have to do this video. Because obviously, a real F1 driver has a bad race and quickly moves on. A YouTuber has a bad race, then has to edit it and relive it, then has to commentate it and relive it, then has to put it live and relive it. So, a little bit painful, and I'll be glad when I get onto China, even though we've got that massively long back straight, which is going to be painful with the Honda engine, but at least, hopefully I can have a more solid result and at least get some points there. But anyway, I thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.